at what we're going to try to accomplish today. We can make this work. There we go. Our objectives today, first of all, challenge your thinking. I've already told you that. I want to stimulate some new ideas. I was talking to someone a couple of days ago, and they said, well, I'm coming to hear you speak, and I'm hoping to get some new ideas. I am not going to give you any new ideas. If we have 150 people in the room, I will be delivering 150 different presentations. What you hear is more important than what I say. What you hear is more important than what I say. And in fact, when we leave here, get together at your organization. Tell the other people who are also here what you learned, what you heard, and you'll have a greater impact on them than I ever would. Whenever two minds come together, a third mind is created. And that's what we're talking about here. I'll give you my perception of sales and issues about sales, and you will have yours, and when they come together, there's a whole new set of ideas. They'll be your ideas and not mine. I'm going to teach you principles and not techniques. I don't believe in sales techniques. Sales techniques typically don't work, because today you're in a selling seminar and your customers are down the street in a buying seminar and they already know all these techniques. There's nothing you can use in front of most professional buyers that they haven't heard before. And if we start using techniques, they take control of the sales call. We're going to encourage you to teach. The single most important function of sales is to teach. I would like to think that at least half of you leave today with the intent of teaching sales. Have you ever thought about being a sales trainer? Have you ever thought about doing what Don and I do? We travel around and we stand up in front of audiences and we teach. Maybe you've thought about that. More importantly, DIY sales training is now the norm. DIY, do it yourself. In-house weekly sales training. Somebody in your organization needs to be helping your salespeople go to the next level. It's the locker room experience at halftime. Salespeople are getting their axes dulled now faster than ever before. Sales is changing. Customers are coming up with new ideas. Competitors are bringing out new tactics that we're not prepared for. We deserve to come back into the building and have a training session at least once a week. But think about this. Those of you that are in the B2B world, when the customer says, what do I get when I buy from you that I don't get from your competitor? And you're sitting there looking at it and thinking, you know, it's not a whole lot. What about sales training? Now, this is called supply chain selling. When your customer sells more, do they need to buy more? What's the answer? Of course. We're selling washers to go on widgets. As the widget sales go up, then the washer sales will start going up. Could you go into your client's organization and say, here's what I'm going to do. Once a month, I'm going to come over and conduct 1 hour of sales training. As a result of that, your sales will go up. And when your sales go up, you're going to buy more from me. It's a very selfish motive. But I would like to be in a position to help your salespeople go to the next level. Is there a silver bullet in sales? Most of my clients are CEOs. And I get this phone call about twice a year. The CEO will say, look, we don't want the one-year contract. We don't want the multi-day sales training. We don't want the full-day sales training. We don't even want the half-day sales training. We want the silver bullet. Is there a silver bullet in sales? And for 20 years, I've been saying it doesn't exist. It turns out I was wrong. Would you like for your sales to start going up next month? Pre-call planning. Would you like for your sales to start going up next week? Pre-call planning. Would you like for your sales to go up this afternoon? Pre-call planning. It's the first activity seasoned salespeople abandon. We stop planning our sales call. We start winging it. It's out of habit. I've been selling these things for so long I can sell them in my sleep. Well, guess who's sleeping through the sales call? That's probably going to be the customer. We need to go to the next level. Remember your very first sales call? If we had a video of your very first sales call, raise your hand if you would appreciate us playing it for the group this morning. Probably not. It was a horrible experience. But think of how much you planned that. And it was pretty good for a first call, but now you've gotten better and better. Go back into pre-call planning. I'm going to help you with that this morning as well. First question for you, is sales an art or a science? This is in your handout. You can find a place to take notes. Is sales an art or a science? Tell me. A little of both. Raise your hand if you think sales is an art. Raise your hand if you think it's a little bit of both. Raise your hand if you think it's a pure science. Sales is, in fact, a pure science. There's been more change in the world of sales, professional selling, in the last 8 months than there has been in the last 20 years. And we haven't seen anything yet. Processes, technologies, capabilities, taking advantage of other technologies. It's amazing what's happening in sales. I don't have time to bring you up to date on all of it, but let me show you a couple of things that are happening in sales and see if this stimulates an idea in your mind. See if this is something you might want to teach somebody else.